Hey guys, Chris here and welcome to your Business Bud. On this video, I'll share advanced copywriting secrets number 4 and 5. But first, if you're new to this channel and you're dead serious in making a huge amount of money online, I'm going to be making weekly videos that will help you do just that. So click on the subscribe button, hit that bell, because I promise you, together we can. Advanced copywriting secret number 4, share stories. Stories move people. As human beings, we are drawn to stories. Because facts tell, stories sell. So what stories you can think of to sell your products or services? It's one thing to say, hey, my products are very good, or my services are great, versus how could you come up with a story? There are many forms of story. I'll give you some example. You could have your backstory. This is basically means how did you get started? Let's say you're on the how-to niche, and when you become successful, as you teach people of what you know, they will have this perception, oh, it's easy for you to say, because people will tend to see the success that you already are. So if you only show people where you are now that you are a successful person, most people, like 97%, you've seen this in social media too, they will react with nothing more than jealousy, judgment, and criticism. Because most people have negative association with people who are wealthy. Let's face it, that's why they're broke. But if you share your backstory first, people can relate to you. They'll like, oh, he wasn't born rich. He's just like me. He also have no money before. He made it on his own through persistence, through skills, through tenacity. Okay, you have my respect. So you gotta think about that. Another form of story which is very powerful, and you can use it, and that is actually the client story. If you work with client or customers, are you actively collecting testimonials or reviews from them? Do you have happy customers? Do you do good work? Yes? You should collect those stories from them. What other people say about your business, about your company, is more powerful than what you say about it. So why not utilize those stories? Because what happens is your potential client, your prospect, when they read these stories, they can relate. You know what? This person is just like me, and this company has helped this person gotten these results. Oh, I want that too. Right? That is why testimonials, those stories, are very, very powerful. Now you might be asking, how many of this do I need? As many as possible. You want to have an overwhelming amount of proof, and here is one way to do it. I'll give you an example. This is a very powerful way to grow your business exponentially. As you grow your business, you want to create a YouTube channel dedicated to your customers, to your happy customers. You can call it Company XYZ Community, or John Smith's Family, or John Smith's Community, or whatever you want. Make it all success stories of all your students. If your business is about how to help them make more money, or how to help them in real estate, or in accounting, or in math, put all their testimonials there. Ask them to share their problems and how they overcome it with your help. Believe me, people will create that for you because we all love talking about ourselves, right? They'll be more than happy to share their stories to you because they get to be featured to the community of their mentor or their beloved company. Who wouldn't want that, right? That is a very powerful way to communicate stories. So instead of you saying, hey, look at me, look at my company, look at how good we are, we help a lot of people reach this and that, you'll say, hey, you know what? Don't look at me. Look at all my students or customers. You don't have to listen to what I have to say. You listen to what they have to say instead. Let me give you another example. This is the Wall Street Journal ad. Let me read the first part to you. Dear reader, on a beautiful late spring afternoon 25 years ago, two young men graduated from the same college. They were very much alike, these two young men. Both had been better than average students, both were personable, and both, as young college graduates are, were filled with ambitious dreams for the future. Recently, these men returned to their college for their 25th reunion. They were still very much alike. Both were happily married, both had 3 children, and both, it turned out, had gone to work for the same Midwestern manufacturing company after graduation and were still there. But there was a difference. One of the men was the manager of a small department of that company. The other was its president. What made the difference? Have you ever wondered, as I have, what makes this kind of difference in people's lives? It isn't a native intelligence or talent or dedication. It isn't that one person wants success and the other doesn't. The difference lies in what each person knows and how he or she makes use of that knowledge. And that is why I'm writing to you and to people like you about Wall Street Journal. For that is the whole purpose of the journal, to give its readers knowledge that they can use in business. The rest of the letter talks about what Wall Street Journal is and how it can help people. I want you to think about this. What is the beginning of that ad? That is right, it's a story about 2 people. It didn't start off like, hey, let me talk about the column that we have, or let me talk about the investment tips that we have. No, it is a story. And this storytelling ad sold $2 billion worth of Wall Street Journal subscription and ran from 1975 to 2003. $2 billion worth of subscription using the power of story. But what if they sell Wall Street Journal as it is without the story? Hey, we have this 10 pages of journal per month, and every week, we write columns from great writers, etc. Could they sell as many? Probably not even close. This is also not just a story. They also use contrast. 2 people. One is subscribed to Wall Street Journal and the other is not. Why stories are so powerful? Why do we love movies so much? It is because it feels like we could be part of it, yes? When you watch a scary movie, you are at the edge of your seat. Your heart is pounding. You wish that the actor will not go through that dark, scary corridor and just run away. Or if it's an action movie like Tom Cruise is jumping off of a building to another building and try to grab the edge, we are like, "Whoo, man, this is exciting." It'll make you scream, it'll make you dodge, it'll make you want to cover your eyes sometimes. What makes the Wall Street ad so powerful is because the copywriter didn't say, hey, read this if you want to be successful. They simply say, there were two people, and one made his decision to become a subscriber, and the other one didn't make his decision to subscribe. And immediately you are thinking, man, I don't want to be the one that didn't subscribe. I don't want to be a loser like him. I want to be the one who subscribed and be a winner. Right? We buy because of emotion and we justify with logic. And that is exactly what the ad did. After hooking you up with emotion, after it gets you emotionally involved, it then explains exactly what you get when you subscribe. Advanced copywriting secret number 5, write like you are talking. This is very important. Remember, it's not about writing, it's about closing deals. And how do you close deals? You write like the way you talk. After watching this, I want you to Google Gary Halbert letters and read any of his letters. You will immediately notice that even though you are reading his copy, it would feel as though he is talking to you in person. It would be like you are having a conversation with him. That didn't happen by accident. He is really talking to you because he writes the way he talk. When you write the way you talk, it is much more easier to connect. When you were in high school, can you remember the textbooks your teachers wanted you to read? Man, those books are so freaking boring, right? It feels like you're being punished when you read them. Because when you read those textbooks, you don't feel like the author of the textbooks are talking to you. It is talking over you. When you look at those textbooks, that's not how you talk. You don't talk like you're writing a textbook. The biggest mistake that you can have when it comes to copywriting is being boring. So write the way you talk. Most of us don't use complicated words when we talk, right? Whatever you learn in school or grammar class, you can throw that away because it doesn't matter. You may ask, well, in my business, I need to talk to lawyers, doctors, professionals, CEOs. Don't I need to impress them with big words? The answer is no. Most of these people, they deal with complicated things already, sometimes daily. So they want to read simple stuff, especially when buying. Don't make it difficult for them to read your message. Make it simple. Now, just because you keep it simple doesn't mean you don't keep it professional. That's two different things. They are not the same thing. If you are selling to doctors, you can use doctors' verbiage, but don't use words that it takes them a long time to process. Because if they look at your copy, they're like, okay, this will going to take a lot of efforts to understand, so I'm gonna set this aside and get back to it later. Guess what? They don't come back to it. So you need to grab their attention right there at that moment. Hook them in. Make it simple. The purpose of a headline is not to make the sale. The purpose of the headline is to get them to read the first paragraph. That's it. The purpose of the first paragraph is for them to read the second paragraph, not to make the sale. Same goes with the third paragraph, the fourth, until they are fully hooked. It's like in dating. You don't ask the girl to marry you on the first date, right? That's freaking ridiculous. There's a getting to know process first. But how many ads have you seen that are trying to make a sale on the headline or in the first paragraph. That's not what we do. So we write decent English, but not as formal as what we learned in school. Write the way you talk. Example of textbook-like writing is something like, the weather forecast today shows 80% rain due to the low pressure area forming and high humidity in the atmosphere. This is flat, right? Like you can't relate so much. Let's make this better. There's 80% chance of rain today. You'd be soaking wet, so make sure you bring your umbrella. Much better? Now you are painting a picture in their minds. You are putting emotions to the words. It's hot versus it's boiling hot. See how editing that one word creates a different image in your mind? Just one word. That's the power of copy. One little word can create a different emotion. When you are writing a copy, most mistakes that a lot of copywriters make is they use a lot of I or a lot of we. We are this, we are that. When you are selling, when you are closing in print, ideally, you will need to use a lot of you. Remember, the only question running through their mind as they read your copy is, what's in it for me? So better to address that by using more yous. If you read your copy, you should have like 2 or 3 times more yous than I or we. Focus on you. Another mistake that a lot of people make is they are talking to groups. Think about this. Let's say you are reading a marketing copy from a web page or an email. Chances are you're the only one reading it, right? So it's very critical to realize that this is a one-on-one communication or connection between you and the copywriter or the person who sent the message. So if it's one-on-one, then why would you talk to them in groups? It's like I'm writing to you and I'm talking to group. In your mind, subconsciously, what you are saying is, who are these people you are talking about? It's only me in front of my computer or my cell phone reading this. That is why it's important to use a lot of you. Talk to them one-on-one. You also want to use short sentences and simple words. Don't use long paragraphs, please. It's so heavy on the eyes. Divide one long paragraph into several paragraphs. Think about it. If you see a copy which is in a long paragraph, you won't read it. It is not very desirable to read, right? Readership is important. Make it simple. Use 3 to 4 sentences per paragraph and don't ever let it reach 10 sentences. When you're writing, visualize your ideal customer sitting across the table from you. How would you talk to that person? And then just write to that one person. If you're having difficulty with writing, then talk. Just imagine your ideal customer is sitting in front of you, then talk, literally, and then record it. Then go to any of the sites that can transcribe it, like rev.com. It's a good site that you can use for a very cheap price. Just upload the audio and they'll transcribe it for you. Or you can even do it yourself to save money. Listen to your recording and write every words you said. That will be a good starting point, a template, and from there, you can do a little modification. Keep it simple. Copywriting is not a very complicated thing to do, believe me. It is very doable skill to learn. And if you haven't watched Advanced Copywriting Secrets 1 to 3, click these videos on your right, and I'll also leave the links on the description below. I will share more advanced copywriting secrets on my next videos next week, so make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified when we release them. Until then, thank you for watching, and I see you on the next video. Bye for now.